Lewis Hamilton's Ferrari dream is fast turning into a nightmare. What was meant to be a new dawn in red has instead become a storm of setbacks, frustration, and finger-pointing. And nowhere was that more apparent than in Sao Paulo. From another bruising qualifying session to a race that ended in disaster, Ferrari's weekend unraveled in dramatic fashion, leaving both drivers furious, the pit wall speechless, and fans wondering what on earth has gone wrong inside Maranello. Here's everything that went wrong for them. Sir Lewis was a man of few words after what he called a nightmare Brazilian Grand Prix, a race that ended far earlier than he'd hoped. The seven-time Formula One world champion bowed out just 37 laps in, with Ferrari citing floor damage after a bruising start in the midfield. It all began with a light brush from Carlos Sainz at turn 1, the kind of bump that might normally go unnoticed, before things escalated on the run to the start-finish straight. In the thick of early chaos, Hamilton clipped the back of Franco Colapinto's Alpine, damaging his front wing and, as it turned out, the floor of his Ferrari as well. Sky Sports F1 pit lane reporter Ted Kravitz had this to say about it. When he passed me in the pit lane, there was so much damage to the guide vanes on the floor. He will be slower than a slow thing. There is so much damage to the floor of his Ferrari. Despite the damage, Hamilton soldiered on for nearly 40 laps, nursing the wounded car as best he could before Ferrari finally told him to call it a day and box the car. His efforts earned little reward. A 5-second penalty for the Colapinto incident added insult to injury, capping off a weekend that had already gone sideways after a Q2 exit and a 7th-place finish in the sprint. After the hit, it felt like the rear suspension was broken, but they said that it seemed to be all right, Hamilton explained afterwards. But there was something, could be crossweight or something like that, and then there was the loss of downforce. I think we were losing 30 or 40 points of downforce, so when you were going through the high speed, the thing was snapping. I was giving everything to try and keep up with the guys ahead of me. Hamilton slammed the FIA stewards as a complete joke after being handed a time penalty, a punishment he clearly felt was harsh and unnecessary. When informed of the decision over team radio, his disbelief was immediate. These guys are a joke, a complete joke. It's been that kind of season for Hamilton, flashes of pace, but few results to show for it. Now, 6th in the championship and still chasing his first podium in red, he trails teammate Charles Leclerc by 66 points. For a driver who built his legacy on consistency and dominance, this Ferrari chapter hasn't yet lived up to its billing. It's a nightmare, Hamilton told Sky Sports. I've been living it for a while. The flip between the dream of driving for this amazing team and then the nightmare of the results that we've had. The ups and downs. It's challenging. Tomorrow, I'll get back up. I'll keep training. I'll keep working with the team. I really wanted to get them good points this weekend, but I'll come back as strong as I can in the next race and try to recover. This is definitely a weekend to forget. It's a shame because I love Brazil and everyone in the team. Every single person in this team turns up every week and gives it their absolute best. To come away with nothing, to not finish a race for the second time in the year, it's really devastating. I feel terrible for the team. I'm sorry for my part in qualifying, putting myself in that position. We'll get back up tomorrow and just give it another go. Leclerc, too, endured his own dose of misery in Sao Paulo. The Monegasque's race lasted barely 6 laps before contact with Andrea Kimi Antonelli's Mercedes, caught in a 3-wide squeeze with Oscar Piastri's McLaren, sent him spinning out of contention. Up to that point, Leclerc looked sharp, having qualified 3rd and finished 5th in the sprint. It's those glimpses of promise that give Hamilton reason to stay upbeat about Ferrari's future. It would be wrong to say that there are no positives at all, Hamilton told Viaplay. If you look at Charles's performance in qualifying, it shows that the car does have some pace in it. But we are just really having to fight through those hardships at the moment. I have to believe that these hardships lead to, I believe there is something extraordinary up ahead in my life and in my destiny. I truly still believe in this team and what we can achieve together. I just have to keep pushing and keep giving them everything I can. A visibly frustrated Charles Leclerc didn't mince his words after the race, blaming Andrea Kimi Antonelli for their early collision in São Paulo. Leclerc pointed out that he'd left plenty of space on the inside, showing full awareness of the situation, yet still found himself taken out before the race had even begun in earnest. He told Sky Sports, "I am very angry. In these incidents, I have nothing to learn on my side. I did nothing wrong. I would do it again 20 times. But unfortunately, the mistake came from the inside. I am not angry with either of them. It happens. My view is that Oscar was a bit optimistic, but Kimi had space. It was an unnecessary collision. He drove the corner as if Oscar wasn't there. Yes, Oscar was optimistic, but Kimi could have done more to avoid it." Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur shared his thoughts after the race, offering both frustration and perspective in equal measure. He said, "Unfortunately, with Charles, we were the victims of contact between other cars, and it was quite a hard one for him. He had a good start and was in the right position. But the second collision was a very heavy hit. I think we had good pace today. We were in the fight and not too far off the others." The start of the race had been very promising. Despite the disappointment, Vasseur was quick to commend Leclerc's performance, noting that the Monegasque had delivered a strong weekend up until that point. The Frenchman also hinted that Ferrari's pace was good enough to fight for the win had circumstances played out differently. "I can't complain about the pace this weekend, at least from Charles's side. He did an excellent job. Unfortunately, we paid the price for the incident between Antonelli and Piastri. Looking ahead, we must focus on the next races and understand what we can improve. Today, without the puncture, we could even have won. The potential was there and we're on the right path to catch up with the others. Given the pace we had, I don't think there was much more we could do. Charles had absolutely no responsibility for what happened. The team still worked very well. And when pressed on what positives Ferrari could take away from a bruising weekend in Brazil, Vasseur remained measured, but optimistic. Our P3 in qualifying and Charles's good start. That's what we'll build on as we move forward. So, after another weekend of heartbreak and chaos, do you think that Ferrari's new era has completely crumbled to the ground before it's even begun? Or is there hope for them yet? Why don't you tell me in the comments? And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the latest in Formula One. Thanks for watching.